Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to our Mental Health Tuesday. Today being Tuesday, the 1st of March, 2022, being our 28th session of Mental Health Tuesday. My name is Mohammed Ali Machausa. I'll be your moderator. And we are doing this from Samba Sports Youth Agenda in partnership with the Greenstream Network, Diplomats for Health, and the other partners that we are working with. We are doing this as usual because we want to make sure we share an understanding of what is going on our mental health to help people cope with mental health situations and to help people help others cope. So we will start with the name of the Almighty God, that we invite you, God, to sit with us and guide us, give us the patience, the endurance, and make sure that whatever we are discussing is meaningful to us and to the people that we represent, and that by the end of this meeting, we shall be better in terms of supporting our brothers and sisters that find themselves in situations of challenges. We pray to you, God, and believe in your name. Amen. So today, we are going to have a conversation around understanding a sense of safety, a sense of security. And we will use this, we will use the river of cruelty as a way of understanding why do we feel the way we feel, why do we feel secure if we feel secure, and why do we feel insecure if we feel insecure. But before we go there, I would like to maybe ask in the audience, what do you think makes you feel secure? What do you think makes you feel safe and secure? And then after that, our panelists or presenters, being Kadzo Jali and Omar Kea, will help us to understand the river of cruelty. So what makes you feel secure? You may answer, or you may raise your hand, or you may answer on the call chat. What makes you feel secure? Anybody? What makes you feel secure? What are the things in your life that make you feel secure? Brother Ibrahim Premji, you have your hand up. Please take the podium.
Yeah. Hi guys. One thing that makes me feel safe and secure, ningesema ni close friends and family members. Thanks.
Asante anasema close friends and family members make him feel secure. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Who else? What makes you feel secure? What makes you feel safe? Or what circumstances that happen and you feel I am very safe? And what circumstances that happen that you feel you are not safe? Thank you very much, Brother Ben Oko from Mwani Kimera.
Good evening, guys. What makes me feel secure is when I'm in total control of what is happening around me.
When you're in total control of what is happening around you. Thank you very much. Another contribution, what makes you feel secure? What makes you feel secure? Do you have another contribution before we welcome our first speaker? No more contributions. Thank you. Let me see. No one has even written on the call chat. Well, let me welcome Brother Omar Kea. Maybe he's going to kind of shed light or insights into what are the circumstances in our lives that may contribute to us feeling safe, or what are circumstances in our lives that may contribute to us feeling unsafe or insecure. Omar, if you are ready, please take the podium.
Hello, good evening, guys. My name's Omar Kea from Samba Sports. I'm one of the circle keepers in Kumekucha Quest. And today, we'll take you through the river of cruelty that will define the various circumstances, the various stories that we've gone through in our life that makes us feel the way we feel, that makes us traumatized. Trauma, in other words, or in Swahili, we say ni kiwewe. Okay? So, in this river of cruelty, it's a model that is illustrating how cruelty is passed on from person to person, generation to generation. This is the things that one goes through from, let's say, the day he was born until he grows up. Okay? Now, before we go further, we'd like to define what cruelty is. Does anyone know what cruelty is? Hello.
Yes, Omar.
Does anyone know what cruelty is?
Come up again, please.
We would like to define the term cruelty before we go on with analyzing this model. Anyone with an idea what cruelty is?
Omar.
Yes, please.
According to my understanding, cruelty is doing something harmful or brutal to a person. This thing, when it is done to you, you will not feel good about it. That is my own understanding of cruelty.
Okay, as defined by our sister, hurtful, we can say something painful, something that is intentional, or that makes one suffer or feel bad. That's cruelty. Okay, as in this model of river of cruelty, it is showing how people are stuck in circumstances and they cannot get out of them. Now, in the river of cruelty, we see the first term, advanced feelings. Then after advanced feelings, we have defense mechanisms, and then we have unintended consequences. Now we are going to start with the advanced feelings. Advanced feelings are those things that we feel or that we go through, and they make us feel like something abnormal, something not normal has happened to us. And the defense mechanisms, these are the the reactions that people take out. These are the defense mechanisms. And when people use these defense mechanisms, what are the consequences that we get when we use these defense mechanisms? Those consequences will create an attitude or a belief from the consequences that we come where we get them. So in order to overcome these beliefs and attitudes, we need to accept ourselves. Okay, for example, I'll give you a short story. From this story, we'll get to know the advanced feelings and the defense mechanisms that one will use so that he can try to overcome his advanced feelings. Hope we are ready for the story. The story is about a brother called Muhammad Abdullahi Abdi. Was a kid from Somali. He lived with his parents in Somali. And during the conflicts, there came conflicts in Somaliland. So neighbors fought, families fought, relatives fought. And Muhammad Abdi lost his parents, his sisters, and everyone of the family. So he had to fly to Kenya for safety. And as he was growing up, he always thought about his family. Now, there came a time when a project for dialogue and reconciliation, which was to help Muhammad go back to his country, that is Somali. Now, Muhammad got this chance. He went back to Somali. On his arrival at the dialogue place, he met the guys. He met every member that was in that conflict on that day. So he even saw who killed his dad, who killed his mom, and everyone. They were there. So as they were talking, Muhammad was very quiet. He was reflecting everything about what happened on that day, who killed his parents, and all that. During his introduction, Muhammad did not say that he was Muhammad Abdullahi Abdi. He just said another name so that those people cannot remember. But after some time, Muhammad was very uncomfortable and he said, "It's today. I just have to tell these people who I was." And when he was given a chance, he said, "Do you guys know me?" And no one answered. He said, "I'm Muhammad Abdullahi Abdi," and everyone was shocked. And no one believed that this kid survived. So people were just quiet, and Muhammad said, "I've just come here today. I've not come for revenge. I've just come to ask for reconciliation, so that there'll be an understanding. I can come back home and live peacefully." And everyone felt sad, felt bad, felt like something very terrible was done to Muhammad's family, and everyone accepted with him with an open hands. Now, in this story, we can relate it with this river of cruelty. what Muhammad passed through all his life and all the things that he got. Now we want to go back to the adverse feelings of this story. If I may ask, can anyone tell me how Muhammad felt when he lost all his family members?
Omar,
Yes, please.
Muhammad alifeel vibaya. Kwanza alifeel kwamba ni kama hiyo maisha hataendelea tena, ni kama maisha yake imeishia hapo, kwa sababu ya ile umeona kabisa wazazi wako wameuliwa, ndugu zako, the whole family wameisha, uko peke yako, alafu ameishi kujificha for a long time. Unaona, akaona kitambo aje ajikubali na aone haina haja tena ya kujificha. Ili take time kwanza, na yeye kama Muhammad alijikosesha haki ya kujificha yeye, kwa sababu pengine ya hofu ile iliyokuwa nayo. Auliza pengine ndani ya nafsi yake, ni namna gani, je, hawa watu wakijua mimi ni mtoto wa fulani wataniacha salama? So aliishi na hofu, ndio sasa akaamua kuficha identity yake. Sasa mtu kama huyu ama kijana kama huyu Muhammad, kiufupi alikuwa ni mtu ambaye kwamba alijiona amebebeshwa mzigo ambao kwamba hata uweza, but kwa nguvu za Mungu aliweza, alisimama, alikuwa na akaendelea na maisha yake, na mwisho aliamua kufunguka na kujieleza yeye ni nani na ni mtoto wa nani na ni familia gani, ambapo ilishangaza watu wengi na iliwatia kusema kwa hata hiyo story mimi ni touch in somehow. Lakini wewe na mimi ambao kwamba hatujafikiwa na mambo kama haya, tumepata huu mfano kwa Muhammad, sawa, lakini haina maana kwamba sisi pia hatuna story za kutufisha moyo. Je, huyu Muhammad, kwa swali langu, maanake nimemwelewa na nimefeel situation alikuwa nayo, vitu alipitia, lakini nikiuliza tu huyu Muhammad, je, alipata support kutoka kwa nani wakati familia yake yote ilikuwa imemalizwa na hiyo conflict? Ni kitu gani alifanya ama aliishi vipi? Sijaelewa hapo, ni maisha gani aliishi, kwa sababu kama ni kupitia alipitia magumu na nale. Can you proceed please, Omar?
Okay. Thank you, Barke. I was to make the story short, but Muhammad ended up in the refugee camp. That's where he got support from the various refugee officers and other well-wishers. That's how he started his life. But he was really anxious of going back home. He really needed to change his community in one way or another. So when this chance came that there was a dialogue in Somali, he had to take it.
Omar, please come up again. Sikusikia vizuri hiyo neno lako la mwisho, please.
Okay. Muhammad aliishi kwa kambi za wakimbizi, na pale katika kambi ndio aliweza kupata msaada na wale maofisa wanaofanya katika hizi kambi, well wishers, various donors ambao wanahudumia hizi kambi za wakimbizi. So hizo ndizo zilimpa moyo kwa sababu alipitia hizi therapy za hizi circles za kuheal trauma, ndo akaweza kupata nguvu za kurudi tena kule kwao Somali.
Okay, sawa, nimekupata vizuri, na inaonyesha kwamba Muhammad yeye kama yeye ni mfano mzuri wa kutumika kwa vijana wengine ambao kwamba walikufa moyo, waliona kwamba maisha yani hawana tena maisha, hawawezi ishi. Muhammad atumike kama mfano, especially kwetu sisi vijana ambao kwamba wengi utasikia mtu amejiua, amejinyonga, sijui amepatia sumu, amekunywa sumu yeye, ameona maisha yamemlemea, amekunywa sumu yeye, amepatia sumu watoto. Ni story ambazo tutazisikia now and then. Kwa hiyo Muhammad ningependa awe mfano wetu sisi sote kama society. Tumwangalie Muhammad aliishi maisha gani na sisi tunaishi maisha gani, na ni changamoto gani tunapitia kwa sasa kama vijana, then alafu tuchukue ile nini ya Muhammad alikuwa na courage yani ya kuweza kuface mambo yote hayo mpaka kuishi kwa kambi ya wakimbizi. Si rahisi Omar kuishi katika kambi ya wakimbizi ilhali ulikuwa na nyumba, wajua kwetu ni hapa, mamangu ni huyu, babangu ni huyu, hawa ndio ndugu zangu, hii ndio familia yangu. Then alafu all of a sudden ije itokee tu hauna mtu yoyote, umejikuta uko kwa kambi, umejikuta yeye ni mtu wa kulelewa na huyu na yule, maisha yako imekuwa ngumu. Sasa sisi kama vijana, hemu tujaribuni, kabla mtu aje atufundishe, hemu tuangalie, tuchukueni huo mfano, sisi tuubebe kama ni sisi wenyewe. Hiyo situation ifanye kama ni wewe ndio ulikuwa ndani ya hiyo hali, ni vipi ungechukulia? Na je, kama umesurvive mpaka sasa, kuna lolote litakalokushinda? Ni changamoto gani ambako tusiweze nasema hivi nikisema kwamba tusikimbilie kwenye uraibu kwenda kupoteza mawazo yetu, tuseme mimi nikienda nikilewa nitarudi nyumbani nilale, takuwa hakuna kitu nafikiria, mimi nikivuta unga sitakuwa na stress, nikivuta bangi nitapunguza stress. Tuache kujidanganya nafsi zetu na tuangalie the way forward ya kutatua matatizo yetu, na sio kwamba kukimbia matatizo. Halikimbiwi Omar. Tatizo la suluhisho, kila kitu kina suluhisho lake. Na tukisema kwamba Muhammad, mimi nampa pongezi kwanza, namwambia hongera zake kwamba alisimama na Mungu alisimama na yeye kama yeye, na hadi kufikia hapo si kwa ujanja wake, ila ni subra aliyokuwa nayo, na Mungu naye akamuona mtoto yatima kama hiyo. Alidhulumika, mimi nitasema alidhulumika kwa sababu yeye alitarajia akuzwe, maadamu alizaliwa na wazazi wake wawili na yuko na wazazi wake na familia yake, alitarajia kwamba atakuwa nayo na aje afurahike nayo siku zote, lakini haikuwa the way ali expect. So sisi kama sisi tujitayarishe kwamba challenge yoyote itakayotukuta kwa maisha yetu, sisi wenyewe tuwe tayari kufanyeni kukabiliana nayo, na sio kuikimbia hiyo shida ama kujiingiza kwenye majanga ya mihadarati. You can proceed.
Asante dada Barke for your input. So tukiangalia hii story tunaona kwamba kulikuwa na zile adverse feelings, vile vitu ambavyo Muhammad alivisikia. Dada yetu ametuambia kwamba alisikia kama ni mwisho wa maisha, na pia tunaona pia alisikia upweke ama alihisi upweke, the loneliness. Can anyone add something ambayo tunaona kwamba ni kitu ambacho kilikuwa anakihisi katika moyo wake Muhammad?
Sawa Omar, nimerudi tena. Omar?
Yes, nakusikia.
Nasikia. Sasa nasema kitu ambacho kwamba kingine alikihisi maybe Muhammad ni ile uchungu, na hiyo inapelekea kuwa na grudge. Sasa kama aliyefanya hivi mara nyingi, hata huku kwetu Lamu yatokea, kama kisa kilichotokea Mpeketoni wakati wa 2014, watu kuuliwa, wengine waliuliwa wazazi wao wakiona kwa macho yao mawili, mtu aliponea chupu. Kwa hiyo ana ile ndani ya roho yake, paka nimekaa na kijana ananiambia nikipata nafasi hivi hawa watu watanijua mimi ni nani. Ile uchungu niko nayo ile kidonda niko nayo haijawahi pona. So Muhammad ako na ile uchungu, na sijui kama hadi sasa bado ako na mawazo pengine ya kulipiza kisasi ama ya kujitoa. Unajua mtu akifikia mahali kama hapo unasema afadhali tu mimi nijitoe muhanga, nifanye ile kitu nitafanya. Sawa, lakini siwezi kaa kama mimi nimepoteza familia yangu alafu nione tu hivi tu nimekaa starehe. Hakuna. Muhammad alihisi uchungu na inaweza pelekea yeye akuwe na grudge. Hiyo mambo na kutaka kulipiza kisasi inaweza mpeleka yeye kaingiana na mambo ya VE ambapo kwamba hatutarajii wala hatumuombei kufikia huko. Tunataka sisi tupitie through his experience tujue ni namna gani tuweza kabiliana na changamoto zetu, lakini ni uchungu ambao kwamba ulikuwa ndani ya moyo wake, na sijui kama hilo jeraha mpaka sasa hili limepona au la.
Pengine labda Omar ni kuongezee pia, naona nikiangalia kwenye call chats kuna watu wamepeana maoni. Ibrahim Premji says he felt lonely and vengeful as a result of that. Collins Oteo says huyu jamaa felt so sad and lonely. Munira Faraj says he felt hopeless hurt and loneliness. Manisha Kwania says Muhammad was sad and angry. Manisha again comes back and says I think Muhammad had accepted and he was ready to face his challenges for him to change his society. So those are some of the some of the feedback that we get on the call chat. But also I saw Manisha had her hand up. Maybe she wants to say something. And then after Manisha also we have Collins Oteo who also has his hand up. Manisha?
No, nafikiri imenyosheka bahati mbaya. Sorry for that, but go ahead.
Okay, Asante. Collins, you want to say something?
Yes. Asanteni sana. Kwa kuangalia huyu Muhammad alifeel sad na lonely, but to the other side pia I think alikuwa grateful some extent because the situation ilimfanya aone way forward on how to deal with the cruelty in the society. I think kama siyo situation, then Muhammad ange learn how to deal with the cruelty within the community. Hili ilimfanya akaenda kuja Kenya, akapata mafunzo, and then he went back to his home country. And because of the cruelty within the society, alipata ile chance on how to deal with the cruelty in the society. I think it was a learning moment for Muhammad and the community. Thank you.
Asante sana Collins. Over to you, Omar. Maybe you may want to wind up and then we allow the second speaker as well.
Okay, asante Muhammad. Naona kutokana na hii story tumejifunza mambo mengi sana. So tumejua zile adverse feelings ambazo zinaweza mfanya mtu akakwazika ama akawa anaishi na kiwewe, na defense mechanisms ambazo zilimkumba Muhammad ni kwamba Muhammad kuna muda alijidisconnect na the society, alikuwa na fear, he was sad, but alipokubali ukweli, the reality, Muhammad aliweza kurudi Somali na he was able to come up into terms with a community na waliishi vizuri baadaye. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who contributed in one way or another. And I'm passing this to my colleague and my sister, Kadzo.
Thank you very much, Omar. Maybe before Kadzo comes in, we've realized Omar has used a story to make us understand situations that may define our current happiness, or situations that may define our current sadness. So, and I like the fact that Omar was very hakuharakisha. He was not in a hurry. He took us very slow to make sure we are soaking that story and the contents and the lessons. So thank you very much, Omar. Kadzo, maybe you may take us. Would you like us to project the River of Life again, or you just want to continue that way?
Yes. Yeah, Mohammed, I think it will be best if you projected.
Okay, let me project that. You have the stage.
Hi, everyone. How are we doing? I can see from the
We are good.
chat, karibuni sana. I can see from the chat that our emotions have perhaps been touched in some way or another. So I want to bring us back into a calmer space, a safer space. I want us to apply what we learned from Muhammad's stories into our real life. But before we do that, I want us to come back to a safe zone. I just want to remind everyone that this is a safe space. Anything and everything you share here is protected and is cherished and appreciated. So perhaps we can do a couple of breathing exercises to calm us down. I think you remember them. So deep inhale and a deep exhale. I want you to just let all these feelings flow out, and remember that even if you will be moved to walk down memory lane, you are safe now. Those adverse emotions that you might remember feeling are no longer emotions that have a hold on you. And yes, one final deep breath in and out, and let's come back to space. I hope you're feeling a bit lighter. So let us proceed. From Muhammad's story, I think we can all admit we do have some beliefs, some attitudes that we walk around with that we might not know that are actually rooted in deep trauma that we experienced maybe when we were younger or not even so far away. So this river, if you can take a screen grab, maybe take a screenshot of this picture and use it as a guide for your daily life. Because, you know, on this journey of healing, nothing is linear. Sometimes we have our ups, sometimes we have our downs. This is one great place to start to understand your trauma. Yani kumaanisha hii module itakusaidia at least uelewe ni kwa nini unahisi vile huwa unahisi sometimes. Kama kwa mfano labda ukikosana na mtu, you have an exchange of words, huwa unahisi vipi? Na pia itakusaidia kujua ni kwa nini unahisi hivi. Labda ni wapi mara ya kwanza mtu alikufanya uhisi vile unavyohisi. Adverse feelings ni these really heavy emotions. Yani hizi hisia nzito zenye hatutaki kufeel kama hasira, chuki, envy. We are all human. We all experience a lot of these feelings. But because of societal pressure, nafikiri most of us huwa hatutaki kukubali kuwa labda kitu kimetukasirisha, ama kitu kimetutia huzuni, ama mtu amefanya jambo lenye limekuumiza moyo. So we keep burying it. Tuenda tukiizima. Na ukiendelea kufanya hivyo ndio sasa hapa defense mechanisms zinakuja. Yani unatafuta njia ya kujikinga wewe mwenyewe subconsciously utatafuta njia ya kujikinga ndio usisikie vile ama usihisi vile umekuwa ukihisi mtu akikufanyia kitu. Na sasa ukiendelea insist na hizo defense mechanism kama labda kujitenga, then utapata una end up na unintended consequences of which sasa ni utajiona uko mpweke. Unaona, ukijitenga watu wakijaribu kuconnect na wewe, lakini wewe labda wakumbuka niko na marafiki zangu mahali fulani walinikosea, sasa waogopa kuwa na urafiki na watu. Defense mechanism yako itakuwa ni kwa wajitenga. Sasa ukishajitenga, the unintended consequences ni kuwa wewe mwenyewe utakuwa you're feeling lonely because you feel like you have no one, and that will be your beliefs and attitudes that you are completely alone in this world, when in reality you are not. So this river helps us to figure out where our emotions stem from and how we can move past them. Nita bring back our attention to the river, uangalie vile ina flow. Huku kwenye kuko red, unintended consequences, beliefs and attitudes. You can see that the river's course is getting rougher. It looks more dangerous. People are falling over. The current looks like it's really, really heavy. We have crocodiles. Any eco red zone. No one wants to be in the red zone. If we live our lives where tumekuwa limited by our beliefs and attitudes, then we are not living a full life. You are not living a life where you are realizing your best potential and where you're engaging in people who appreciate you. So what we can take from Muhammad's story is, as long as you're willing to accept your adverse feelings. Again, I will repeat, I feel like it's very human nature to try and run away from unpleasant feelings. Unajua hakuna mtu anataka awe na huzuni, hakuna mtu anataka kama amekasirika all the time, ama kama mtu amehurt feelings zake all the time. Yaani hutaki kujiona mnyonge kabisa huwa. So utaendelea tu na beliefs and attitudes zako. But ile siku utakuja kuaccept kuwa sawa, something happens, ilinifanya nikafeel hivi. Sasa nitafanya nini na hizi feelings? What am I going to do with these feelings? That is the question I would like you to ask yourself this whole week. Keep a small diary if you can. Take the spring grab and keep a small diary if you can. So that when you examine, self-reflection ni kitu naweza wa encourage sana mufanye. Because we humans are evolving every day. Hata wewe as a person, you are growing every day. The person that you are today is not the person who started this year. In these short months, tayari you have gone through some changes in your life. So to accept kuwa situations change and our emotions change. But if we don't do that, then our emotions zinakuwa now our beliefs and attitudes. I will perhaps give a small personal experience so that you can see how the river flows in my experience. Then maybe you can look back into your life and reflect. When was the first time that perhaps I felt shamed? When was the first time perhaps I felt lonely? When was the first time I felt like no one cared about me? Those are the questions you want to keep asking yourself in your journey of healing. So for me, the event was, I was bullied tremendously in primary school. I can laugh about it now, but it's something that had really stressed me growing up. I felt like I didn't belong, which, as you can see, just from an incident of bullying, tayari my beliefs and attitudes went into I didn't belong. And this is because when you're a young person and you get bullied at school, so you don't have friends at school, you feel like maybe you're not good enough to make friends at school. So my defense, my adverse feelings was that I'm just not a fun person, or maybe I'm just not a funny person or a good person that people want to hang out with me. My defense mechanism was that I started isolating myself. Actually, I went way out of myself to not make friends, because what is the point? They're probably just going to bully me also. So that was my defense mechanism. The unintended consequences was that I had no friends. I had no friends for the longest time. I made my first true friend in high school. And this was way later, like in Form 3. You know, in Form 3, people have already formed really tight bonds. But my high school experience was, really affected by that. I just didn't want to make friends. So because I did not have friends, my beliefs and attitude was that I just didn't belong. Like there's no way I fit in, not back home in Mombasa, and definitely not in Kajiado. So those were my beliefs and attitudes. And it was a miserable existence. Finally, I came to accept. It was a long journey. It's still something I'm working on. Like I said, these things, we keep on working on them every day. The healing never stops. So yes, sometimes perhaps something will still happen right now as an adult, and I'll feel maybe my friends have overlooked me, or I'll feel like my opinion doesn't matter to my friend. That feeling takes me back to the same mentality that I had back when I was a child. And this is what trauma does to you. It is a memory thing. Every time you remember something bad that happened to you, there's an emotion attached to that. How do you let that emotion affect you? Are we going to let it break you, or are you going to let it empower you as you realize every day that you are no longer that child who was hurt? You are no longer that child who was abandoned, and you are a stronger person and you keep growing strong. Once I accepted that, okay, so I didn't have a good primary school experience, that doesn't mean I can't have a good experience right now as an adult. And once I did that, I met my lifelong friends. I've had the same friends for over 10 years now. You find your tribe. I don't think that would have happened if it was not for accepting the situation. Um, so that is the journey. Do you see in acceptance, it's greener. That means you're safe. You're in the safe zone. Once you cross over that bridge into accepting your adverse emotions, the next time you feel angry or the next time you feel sad, I think I'll say the next time you feel sad, don't try and cover it with anger. Confront your sadness, confront your anxiety, and ask yourself, when was the first time that a situation like this made me feel the way I'm feeling right now? Because it's like a trigger memory, isn't it? You remember something, you smell something, and suddenly you are that defenseless child again. So this will be my challenge for the next coming week. We are taking a week of inner reflection. But as you do this, again, I want you to remember to breathe through your emotions. It all comes back down to the breath. If you feel you're being overwhelmed by these emotions or by these memories, it's okay to take a step back and resume when you're feeling like you can handle it. I don't want you to break yourself. As I will keep on repeating, healing is not linear. It does not take one day to heal. So afford yourself some grace. Yani, be compassionate to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't feel like reliving these memories. You are in the same situation again. Remember the kind of person you are right now. Remember how much work you've done on yourself and how much good you've done. This will be the first step in us overcoming or us breaking the cycle of violence that most of us have lived in our whole lives without even realizing it. I would be very pleased to hear your experiences. If you're moved to share with us, please share with us. You can even message us privately over the course of the week if you feel moved to share, and we shall hold space for you and we shall listen to your story. It will be very interesting to see how you break down your emotions and your trauma in relation to this river. And it will be amazing to know that perhaps it will have changed someone's life. So in case we have any questions, in case we have any comments, or if anyone feels like they are moved to share their story right now, I think we have a few minutes before our session has to end. Sadly, this has been I feel like it's been a short session. But yes, in case anyone wants to share, please share, and then I'll hand it over to Mwachausa. Thank you.
Wow, what a presentation. I can feel the silence deepest in people's hearts. I'm sure most of us are touched. The two of you are presenters. You decided you are taking us mdogo mdogo. So if it is that sweetness, it seeps through. Or if it is that sadness, then it seeps through. Thank you very much. I want to read a few chats. Brother Ben Oko through Amani Kibera says, a week of inner reflection. This is powerful, Mwanaisha. Thank you, Ben Oko, although that was Kadzo using Mwanaisha's, camouflaging herself as Mwanaisha. And then Mwanaisha comes in and says, I think this is very important for even people in relationships. Sometimes something happens and it ruins the whole relationship and the belief of positive relationships. Okay, thank you very much. Ibrahim Premji says, breathing through every situation. Very powerful mantra. Thank you for this. No need for apologies, Brother Ben. Abigail Mudoni says, what a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Kadzo and Omar. Yes, do we have anyone who would like to maybe ask a question or seek clarification? I think this was very well done, and it was quite a somber moment of listening. Anybody with any further contribution? We are coming to the top of the hour. Hello, you may raise your hand. We give you an opportunity to speak, or you raise your point on the call chat. Yes, Collins.
Thank you. A point of correction, Mister. We don't think it is. It is well done. This is well done, and big salute to the presenter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Collins. Anybody else? This session need more time. That is Munira. You know, if Munira says that, Munira Faraji is one of our great presenters on this platform. She's one of the most experienced therapy service providers, especially for women. And she's so touched. She says she needs more time. Thank you very much, Munira. I'm sure Kadzo and Omar will put this into consideration. Anybody else? Anybody else? I know we are coming to the top of the hour. Many things that maybe Kadzo, Mwanaisha, Omar, before we go into the harder topic that we had promised to take in terms of the effects of trauma in broken families, we may want to look at how does the river of cruelty affect relationship building, or how does it break relationships, before we come to a specific relationship and see how that trauma affects people. So maybe with Munira saying she wants, maybe we need more time with this session, I also agree, because it may have needed a lot more time to break down even the examples, but we only have 1 hour, so we cannot go beyond that. But maybe we want to look at in our next session, how does the river of cruelty affect relationships, or how does it affect relationship building? How do you see people from your hindsight of the river of cruelty that you've traveled? Do you stand on the same platform that you can love and hate in equal measure, or will some of us be pushed to love in a context while some of us will be pushed to hate in the same context because of the river of cruelty that we've traveled? That is my thought. I don't know whether everybody agrees with me. And if we do, then would like the gentleman and the lady to have a take two next week and tell us how does our rivers of cruelty affect our relationship building. All right. Any further comment? We have come to 1 minute past 9, and we wouldn't like to take another 1 hour. Yes, Mwanaisha?
It's still Kadzo, camouflaging myself.
Okay. You succeeded to even confuse me.
So I was thinking, because we already talked about a week of self-reflection, maybe we can adopt that angle where let's self-reflect on what defense mechanisms do you use that you sabotage your relationships. At the back of our heads, we all know that we have these small habits that we employ maybe to specifically sabotage ourselves. And it's usually a result of trauma, where sometimes you feel maybe you don't deserve to be happy with someone, or you don't feel like you're good enough to be loved by someone. So you see, these are defense mechanisms that would have, and your beliefs that would have developed down the river of cruelty. So if it's this week, just think about your relationships, familial relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, and think about how perhaps your defense mechanisms have come into play while you're navigating through relationships. Think about the consequences of those habits that you employ. And then perhaps when we start, it will be easier for us to cross this bridge into the green zone, because it starts with adverse feelings, goes to defense mechanisms. The red zone is the unintended consequences and the beliefs that we acquire based off the consequences and the defense mechanism. We want to cross that bridge. We want everyone to feel safe, to feel like they are not living in danger, in flight or fight, where happiness is out of reach. Maybe this will help you understand also how you have been reacting to all your relationships, platonic, familial, romantic, or how you react to conflict in relationships, and what you can do, and how you can accept these feelings, and how you can express them in a healthier way. I think that's all. I think that would be a good idea for me.
Wow, you've said it all, and I am your guest. I will, of course, oblige. And our next session, we are going to look at exactly that. And before we close, it will be very unfair not to give an opportunity to Brother Edwin Misheka, all the way from Nairobi, from our partners, Diplomats for Health. Edwin, how are you, sir?
Thank you for the opportunity. It's just that we have been having some few weeks here and there for the training here and there, and planning other things. So I think I'm back now. We see how we can continue with the online session. Thank you. I've enjoyed the session.
Thank you very much. Oh, very good. We have seen virtually what you guys are doing. Wonderful stuff. And let's meet again on Tuesday. Thank you very much, everyone. I want to thank all of you for taking your time and be here. And please take what you've picked here and share with others out there. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.